Hello and welcome to episode 54 of Tall Guy Talks Travel with Rick Doherty. Of course, I am your host, Rick Doherty. On today's show, my wife Courtney will be joining me to talk about the opening weekend of Mardi Gras 2022 at Universal Studios, Florida. Mardi Gras is a festival that's every bit as impressive as any of the festivals at Epcot over at Walt Disney World. Before that, Sarah from Seattle will get us updated on some new and returning experiences on tap for Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World. Before we get started, today's episode is the first one where you will be able to get registered for the 1-year anniversary giveaway prize pack. Tall Guy Talks Travel with Rick Doherty is 1 year old, and we're celebrating by giving one of you a present. It's simple to get registered. At the end of this episode and at the end of the next 2 episodes in February of 2022, I will ask a question that relates to the show. Answer that question in the comments section of the episode on the Tall Guy Talks Travel YouTube channel, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If you get the question correct, that's worth 3 entries, and if you get it wrong, that is still worth 1 entry. Since there's going to be a question at the end of 3 straight episodes, that will be a possible total of 9 entries per person. I can only ship the prize pack in the United States, so please keep that in mind. There will be hints to help you answer the questions at twitter.com/TGTTpodcast. Universal and Disney are not affiliated with this giveaway package, and I will draw the winner by random number generator on March 2nd at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. The winner will be announced on the March 3rd episode of the podcast. Some items featured in the prize pack include a baseball cap from Disney Plus Day, Disney Plus Day buttons, a Chewbacca pin, a Halloween Horror Nights 2020 protective mask, Mardi Gras beads from Universal, Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom cards, a Figment plate from Epcot's International Flower and Garden Festival, a Figment spork from Epcot's International Festival of the Arts, a Haunted Mansion musical Hitchhiking Ghost popcorn bucket, a Walt Disney World annual pass holder magnet, Universal Orlando Resort annual pass holder buttons, and much more. Good luck. Now let's welcome Sarah from Seattle to give us an update about Walt Disney World.
Thanks, Rick. More and more entertainment is returning or coming to Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World as part of the 50th anniversary celebrations. This week marks the beginning of a brand new character cavalcade in the park. Disney Adventure Friends Cavalcade will see more than 24 of your favorite Disney and Pixar characters make a stroll from Frontierland through Liberty Square and down Main Street. Merida from Brave, Miguel from Coco, Genie from Aladdin, Moana from, Moana, and many, many more will be part of the cavalcade. Our host Rick Doherty was able to secure a park pass reservation for Magic Kingdom for the first day of the cavalcade. Get ready to see the clips on the Tall Guy Talks Travel YouTube channel. We will also have pictures on the podcast Twitter page, twitter.com/TGTTpodcast. On March 9th, the Festival of Fantasy Parade will return to Magic Kingdom. This has been a fan favorite since it debuted on March 9th of 2014. The stories of The Princess and the Frog, Tangled, Peter Pan, and more are acted out right in front of your eyes on gorgeous parade floats. Anyone who has seen Festival of Fantasy knows that the experience wouldn't be complete without the Maleficent Dragon. The 26-foot-tall, 35-foot-long, fire-breathing dragon will continue to be the showstopper towards the end of the group. In addition to those offerings, Mickey's Magical Friendship Fair is coming back to the stage in front of Cinderella's castle. But there will be some wardrobe changes to coincide with the iridescent fashions of the 50th anniversary celebration. A new song, Where the Magic Feels Like Home, has also been added to the show. Mickey's Magic Friendship Fair features characters ranging from the classics like Mickey Mouse to modern favorites like Anna, Elsa, Tiana, and Rapunzel, and will resume performances on February 25th. I'm Sarah from Seattle, and this is Tall Guy Talks Travel with Rick Doherty.
We're now going to head east on I-4 and talk about this past weekend, which was the opening weekend of Mardi Gras 2022 at Universal Studios Florida. My wife, Courtney, joined me for the first 2 days of the festival, so here she is to help me talk about all of the offerings.
Great to be here, as always.
We spent this past weekend at Universal Orlando Resort for the inaugural weekend of Mardi Gras 2022, and boy, did we have one heck of a good time. We're going to talk about the entertainment, the food, and so much more. We loved Mardi Gras 2021 so much, and that was even an abbreviated version because of all of the safety precautions going on with the pandemic. Well, a lot of stuff has returned for 2022, and it was a blast. The day started off with a little bit of a problem with Courtney's annual pass. We had to go over to guest services and try to get it resolved, and I'm going to give a huge UO fist bump. By the way, if you're ever helped by a team member and you want to let Universal know, hashtag UO fist bump and at Universal Orlando Resort on Twitter, and that team member will hear the kudos that you have for them. Well, we have a fist bump right now for Mandy at Guest Relations. She helped resolve the issue and gave us free, unlimited express pass for the day, and it was a very, very crowded day because it was the first one of Mardi Gras. So we just want to give a shout out to Mandy. Thank you so much. You really did help resolve this issue and get us going on our day, and you made our day a little better. You took a bad situation and made it great, and that's why we love the team members at Universal. We love the cast members over at Walt Disney World. We'll talk about our experience with Express Pass later, but let's start off with the food. We know you all love the food. In 2022, they have changed the way they do the festival Lanyard. So, Courtney, why don't you tell everybody how they did it last year?
So last year was more of a punch card type of a situation. You would purchase the lanyard for about $60, and this would give you 12 items. It broke down to about $5 an item, so if a festival item was less than $5, it wasn't really helping you. There weren't many items that were less than $5, so you could just buy them with your credit card or cash or what have you without the punch card. But the punch card actually was pretty good because, again, you were getting items that were maybe $8.99 and they would come out to about $5 on the punch card, 12 items.
And that pricing was with an annual pass. Just keep that in mind. So listen, theme park guests can be really, really smart about saving money, and I'm sure Universal noticed that a lot of people got this trick and were getting items that could be as much as like $12 for one punch on the card. So they changed it up a little bit this year. You could either get a $75 gift card for $65 or a $150 gift card for $120. And these don't just have to be used at the festival booths. Some of the restaurants take them, not back at your resort hotel, but a lot of the restaurants and a lot of the food stands, not just the festival food stands, will take these. In addition, you still get your annual pass discount on the food items if you have one of the passes that comes with discounts. So we did save quite a bit of money doing it this way. We got a $150 gift card for $120, and we were saving a percentage on each and every item we got during the festival. If you go to the Tall Guy Talks Travel with Rick Doherty YouTube page, you can see videos of almost all these items, but we're going to give you a quick wrap-up of some of them that we had on that first weekend of the festival. I got the Mozzarella Arapus for $8.49. It's a cornmeal cake filled with shredded mozzarella. I didn't think this was a big enough portion to justify the price, but it was really good. They cooked the cornmeal cake perfectly, and the shredded mozzarella was awesome. Then there was the yuca fries with chimichurri for $3.99. This is the best deal of the festival, at least the best one we found so far. The yuca fries just tasted like really thick French fries, and the chimichurri was the best dipping sauce I've had for anything in a really, really long time, and it's $3.99. Getting a snack in a theme park for $3.99 is almost unheard of, frankly. And these items can be found in the New York section, in the park area across from Jimmy Fallon or right by the Mummy, if you can visualize a map of Universal Studios Florida. We also got the generic beignets, sweet fried pastry with powdered sugar. These were $5.99. I believe you got 4 beignets in your bag. Courtney, since you had these as well, what did you think of the beignets?
They were great. They were everything you wanted in a beignet, your standard beignet, and a little smaller, so maybe you weren't getting quite as much air, and a nice amount of powdered sugar.
These next items are also in the New York section of the theme park. They are at the Gelato stand outside Louis. I got the tomato basil arancini for $5.99, and Courtney got the meatball garlic bread pressed slider for $7.99. The tomato basil arancini is fried risotto filled with tomato basil mascarpone, I don't know, with a spicy arrabbiata sauce. Sure, whatever. Courtney's the Italian in the family. This was good, and like a lot of the Mardi Gras food, because it's taking after New Orleans, it's putting a New Orleans kick on some of these items that are from Italy or other countries. It's a lot spicier than you might expect, having a more traditional version of this food, and I'm here for it. Like, I love spicy food. It's not too spicy, but it just really brings out all the other flavors. The tomato basil arancini is one of the ones where it really does take advantage of the spice, bringing out all the flavors, knocked it right out of the park. Courtney, what about this meatball garlic bread pressed slider for $7.99? Italian meatballs topped with mozzarella cheese, stuffed between 2 slices of Texas garlic toast.
This was really good. Maybe not anything super special, but to me, I just really liked it, and it's more of a comfort food. Meatballs, cheese, crunchy garlic bread, like what more can you ask for? And it had a really good spicy marinara dipping sauce. Everything was super fresh. Again, to borrow the phrase from Rick, knocked it out of the park.
This was the only booth where we got the same things twice over the course of the weekend, so just keep that in mind. That shows you a little bit about how much we liked it. We tried twice to go to Nashville Chicken in the San Francisco area. Courtney wanted to get the Nashville Hot Chicken Mac and Cheese for $10.99. The first day of the festival, they ran out of chicken. The second day of the festival, they ran out of mac and cheese. So we haven't tried that one. Obviously, with me being a vegetarian, Courtney has to try it. We'll see if we can get you a review of that at some point over the course of the festival. Moving on to the New Orleans booth at Battery Park. This is right by Mel's Drive-In and right across from the Transformers ride. Courtney got the shrimp boil for $11.49, mixed bag of shrimp, andouille sausage, red bliss potatoes, and corn on the cob. I know you liked this one. Tell us about it quickly.
This was a festival favorite of mine from last year, and I know it's a little pricey, but oh, it was so good. I described it as heaven. Tons of shrimp, tons of flavor, a little spicy, but not too much. Just tastes like you're in New Orleans. Andouille sausage, potatoes cooked perfectly. Everything was just prepared great.
There are 2 booths in the San Francisco section called the Food Trucks. This is basically right across from King's Cross. It's where the San Francisco area turns into the London area. Courtney, you got one of these items, the shrimp and avocado ceviche for $8.99, poached shrimp, marinated radish, and blood orange sorbet. Getting shrimp on an item for $8.99 in any theme park is actually a pretty good price. This wasn't huge, but I would say it's maybe a better value than some of the other more expensive items, the $8.99 items that you find at this festival. What did you think of it?
I was kind of blown away by it. First of all, it was very refreshing. It was very cool because it consists of cocktail shrimp and a nice scoop of the frozen sorbet in the middle. The blood orange was a great flavor. It was a little sweet. maybe a little more on the sweet side. The pickled radish and a little bit of, I think, like a lime tomato salsa, which you would have in a ceviche dish. Also with that was interesting to have that mix of the sweet blood orange with the savory seasonings, and then just kind of the bland cocktail shrimp, but the cocktail shrimp mixed well with all of those ingredients.
I got the sweet corn Johnny cake for $6.99. This is pulled jerk jackfruit, blood orange crema, avocado, and yellow mole sauce. I loved this one. It was really good. Universal doesn't always do jerk jackfruit well. Sometimes they knock it out of the park, like I said earlier, and sometimes the jackfruit tastes too sweet. When you're using jackfruit as a meat substitute, you want to season it so it tastes like, in this case, they want it to taste like chicken. I've had other items at Universal where it just tasted like jackfruit, but here it tasted like a chicken substitute. This was really good. Was it worth $6.99? Maybe not, but you do have to remember it's a theme park and you're going to overpay for a lot of stuff. However, at the food trucks, I also got the buttermilk strawberry pancakes for $4.99, marinated strawberries, basil mascarpone cream. I don't know. It's a cream, all right? Orange blossom honey on a buttermilk biscuit. This was $4.99, and I'll tell you what, it was definitely worth it. You're not going to find a dessert like this size, and of this quality for $4.99 anywhere else in a theme park. So I say definitely try this one if you're looking for just something a little refreshing, something sweet to have as you're continuing to walk around these booths and trying the more substantial items. People often compare Mardi Gras at Universal to the food festivals at Epcot and Walt Disney World, and I will say with Mardi Gras, you definitely get more substantial food. When you're at Epcot, especially if you're like me and you're a vegetarian, you're stuck with a lot of desserts. There are some booths here at Mardi Gras that don't even have desserts. So that is definitely one of the differences. As you continue to make your way around the park, if you were to head from London over to Springfield, USA, you'd pass that bridge and come up to the Fusion Food Truck, which is technically still located in London. Courtney got the Creole crab beignets for $9.99, Cajun brown sugar dusted beignets stuffed with creamy crab dip and scallions. You thought this was okay.
Yeah, I'm not really sure quite how it could be better. It did have some nice crab seasoning on the outside of the beignets. They gave you 3 beignets. And the crab seasoning being, if you're familiar with Old Bay seasoning, the inside was very much cream cheese with sort of a hint of crab flavor. Good, but just not great.
And I got the Mardi Gras Bubble Waffle for $8.99. It's ube and matcha swirl soft serve ice cream in a Belgian bubble waffle, topped with Mardi Gras sprinkles and sweet corn Pocky sticks. And in with the sprinkles, it was almost like Pop Rocks. So when you would put some of them in your mouth, it would give you that tingling on your tongue. So that was definitely unique. And with the matcha green tea ice cream that went in this, it was definitely a unique flavor. And maybe because it was a big portion, like I said, it's $8.99. But it was big. It came almost like in a waffle cone. That green tea flavor was very good at the beginning, but maybe got a little overpowering by the end. If you're looking to try something a little different, give it a try, the Mardi Gras Bubble Waffle. Now, as a vegetarian, this was the one that had me excited from the very second that I heard of its existence, and it's the plant-based food truck at Woody Woodpecker's Kids Zone. And that's how they describe it, but I'm going to say that is definitely false advertising. It is not at Woody Woodpecker's Kids Zone. It's basically right outside Springfield, USA, right by Bumblebee Man's taco truck. There were 4 plant-based food items here, and we tried all 4 of them. The vegetable Vindaloo for $9.99, the Chana Masala for $9.99, potato, pea, and carrot samosas for $8.99, and the vegan golden chai chocolate blondies for $4.99. We're going to start with these Blondies, chai-spiced vegan dessert bar with dark and white vegan chocolates. I was surprised how gooey this dessert was when you compare it to other plant-based desserts. People know, for example, I'm a big fan of Aaron McKenna's NYC Bakery over at Disney Springs in Walt Disney World. They have a lot of vegan desserts, and some of them are awesome, but some of them, boy, do you need to throw down a drink immediately. These vegan golden chai chocolate Blondies were not like that. For $4.99, it was a fairly decent price. Gooey, you wouldn't have been able to tell they were vegan. Now, the vegetable Vindaloo for $9.99, I tried this, but you ended up liking it a lot more, Courtney, so why don't you talk about this one?
This had cauliflower and sweet potatoes in a sweet and sour type of sauce with basmati rice and some naan breads. It was a fairly big portion. I thought the rice was nice and fresh. The sauce was very light. So overall, yeah, I just thought it had a nice flavor but was light, and I was hungry, and it just hit the spot.
Yeah, especially these first two items, the vegetable Vindaloo and the Chana Masala. They were both $9.99, but they were big portions. They were portions that you would get if it was an entree at a restaurant. The Chana Masala was spiced chickpea curry served with tomato and onion salad, basmati rice, and naan bread. The thing I liked about the spiced chickpea curry was it tasted almost meaty. No, it didn't taste like meat, but there was definitely a lot more substance to it, and it felt like you were getting a filling meal. If I would have gone to a restaurant, ordered this as an entree, and they only charged me $9.99, I would be pleasantly surprised. It was a good amount of food, especially for a festival booth. Then the potato, pea, and carrot samosas for $8.99. This was a smaller portion. You got 4 of the samosas, potato, pea, and carrot samosas served with green chutney. It was the green chutney that really showed up to the party here. I don't know if I would pay $8.99 for it normally, but I really loved actually eating this meal. Would I have rather pay $6.99 for it? Yeah, I would have rather pay $6.99. But it was good, and we're only judging quality right now. Over to the Central American food truck at Woody Woodpecker's Kids Zone. The Papas Bravas for $7.99. Crispy roasted potatoes, salsa bravas, garlic aioli, and parsley. Courtney, what did you think about this one?
I love this. This was another favorite and kind of standout to me. I also would describe this a little bit as a comfort food. Anytime to me that you have a fried potato or a French fry, which this is more of a fried potato that you might get with a breakfast dish, but it was put with savory and creamy sauces. The sauces were awesome, had a little bit of kick of spice, not too much. I really enjoyed it.
And I got the savory sopapilla for $5.49, roasted butternut squash, pumpkin seeds, pepperoni salsa, and cilantro. Everything in this dish went perfectly together. I don't know if it was my favorite dish of the festival, but it's definitely in my top 3. The second I bit into this item, I was videotaping myself. That video will show up on the Tall Guy Talks Travel with Rick Doherty YouTube page in a few days. The second I bit into this item, I immediately said, Universal has got to start selling this salsa. It was great salsa. It was fresh. It was the second day of the festival, not the first day. So they still had fresh tasting salsa on the second day. This was a good one. This is definitely one you're going to have to try. The savory sopapilla at the Central American food truck near the Woody Woodpecker's Kids Zone, right before you get to the E.T. ride in the SpongeBob SquarePants store. And we're just going to discuss one more food item before we move on to other things. Near La Bamba's, also right across from Central Park Crepes, we got the Romeo and Juliet Cohina. This is guava and cheese-filled pastry bites. The one thing I want to say about these is be careful, because the inside of these are like lava. They will burn your tongue. But besides that, I did enjoy them. They tasted good. What did you think, Court?
I love them. I agree with you that that kind of guava jam inside was just staying piping hot, so you had to be a little bit careful. but some nice gooey cheese inside, and on the outside, some cinnamon and sugar dusting. I thought they tasted great.
And then no holiday, whether it be Halloween, the holiday season, or of course Mardi Gras, would be complete at Universal Studios Florida without a tribute store. It's always a very well-themed store with a lot of the festival merchandise and other special items. I'm going to say that this tribute store, to me, was a tiny bit of a disappointment. Last year, it was really, really cool. There were dark rooms, a lot of ambiance, a lot of just really Instagrammable moments. The premise of the tribute store this year was building a float, I guess because they didn't have the parade last year. They wanted to really focus on the floats. It was fine. It's just usually the tribute store is one of my favorite things of a festival, and it just wasn't this time, but that's fine. Not everything has to be a blow you out of the water experience. However, some of that theming from previous tribute stores they used over at Universal's Islands of Adventure for a special new shop. The All Hallows Voodoo Boutique in the Lost Continent area of Islands of Adventure pulled some of that Mardi Gras celebration and didn't confine it just to Universal Studios Florida. They moved it over to Islands of Adventure. We had the chance to walk around this store for a little bit. It was very well themed, a lot of cool photo opportunities in there. Now, I will say that it's very small, but all of the theming I usually expect at the tribute store at Universal Studios Florida, I got here at the All Hallows Voodoo Boutique in the Lost Continent area, fairly close to Mythos. But you can't talk about theming and Mardi Gras 2022 without talking about the Mardi Gras parade. It's a 17-minute parade. You can check out the full parade from the first night of Mardi Gras 2022 by heading to the YouTube channel for Tall Guy Talks Travel with Rick Doherty. It was posted on Tuesday, February 8th. While you're there, please like, subscribe, and comment. That would really help us as well. But if you want to check out the entire parade for yourself, you can see it there. Courtney, very quickly, what did you think about the parade?
I almost have no words because this is so awesome. I think this is what everyone loves to see. Of course, people do like to have some alcoholic drinks and food as well and just have a nice party atmosphere. But quality performances, quality floats, each float being slightly themed a little bit differently, all done up in Mardi Gras green, gold, and purple colors and glitter. I think from past years, the Piece de Resistance float at the end is a huge, long, segmented gator. That's my favorite one. This year, I think they incorporated some space themes that they hadn't in other years. So there was some fun kind of retro, maybe 60s, space and alien theming there, which I loved. I thought it was kind of quirky and unique, and I like things like that. Performers kind of dancing, getting everybody in a festive mood, and a lot of stilt walkers who are very talented, great costumes, lots of people on the floats throwing beads, so it's fun to see what beads you can catch, and just overall a happy, festive vibe.
It was a Saturday night. It was the first day of the festival. Sugar Ray was going to be playing a concert on the stage there in just a couple of minutes. Everybody was a little bit inebriated and having a good time. It was definitely a party atmosphere, like you said. I was videotaping the parade, and I basically accidentally caught like 10 beads. So you definitely are going to have the opportunity for beads at this parade. So before we go, we did promise that we would talk a little bit about Express Pass. And like I said, it was very, very busy at the parks that day, because it was the first day of Mardi Gras 2022. The Express Pass was good for everything but Hagrid's, Velocicoaster, and the Pterodon Flyers. And of course, Courtney and I wouldn't be able to ride Pterodon Flyers anyway because we weren't there with a kid. We used it to experience the Hogwarts Express, Spider-Man, the Seuss Train, Kang and Kodo's Twirl and Hurl, Fast and Furious Supercharged. Yes, we rode Fast and Furious Supercharged. Don't judge. Courtney had never done it before, and I thought it would be funny. The Minions attraction, and E.T. While I was definitely happy that we got Express Pass for free that day, and it was worth it considering we didn't pay anything for it, if we would have paid the price for Express Pass, especially for Spider-Man and the Seuss train over at Islands of Adventure, I think we waited about 20-25 minutes to get on those rides.
Yeah, it was just slightly disappointing. And the Kang and Kudos Hurl and Twirl was kind of the same thing. I think that we waited through maybe 3 or 4 almost rounds of people loading, so that was a much bigger wait than I was expecting.
And if you're more of a Disney person and you don't know what Kang and Kodo's Twirl and Hurl is, like Courtney who called it the Hurl and Twirl, it's basically like a Dumbo-style ride, a spinner ride there. And it was listed as a 15-minute wait for the standby line, and I would say we probably waited 15 minutes in the Express Pass line. So just keep that in mind if you're thinking about spending the big bucks on Express Pass. If it's very crowded, it still might not be worth it. That's a lot of money to spend and still wait in a line. Most likely, especially if you have a bigger family, the way to get Express Pass is to stay at one of the deluxe resorts at Universal Orlando Resort that comes with free Express Pass. That can end up being a really good deal for your family. And speaking of good deals, I always wanted to do this, and since we were spending the entire 12-hour day in the theme park, I got one of the refillable mugs that you can take to any of the Coke Freestyle machines throughout the parks and get free refills all day. After my annual pass holder discount and after tax, we paid a little over $16 for my mug, and I got, yes, 12, count 'em, 12 refills of soda throughout the course of the day. It was definitely worth the money for me. Now, I am somebody who really, really loves drinking soda, and I also love getting my money's worth, so it was a perfect storm. If everybody in the family gets one, you can end up saving more money for each one you get. I think if you get 3 to 6, it's only $13 per mug. So it definitely can be a deal. Courtney, thank you so much for joining me, and thanks for going to the opening day of Mardi Gras 2022 with me.
Thank you so much, Rick. It was a lot of fun.
This week's question to get registered for the Tall Guy Talks Travel with Rick Doherty 1-year anniversary prize pack is coming up in just a few seconds. I don't have any sponsors on the show at the moment because I'm trying to promote my fundraising efforts for the charity Break the Silence Against Domestic Violence. Later this year, I'm planning a 620-mile pilgrimage on the Ireland Way to raise money and awareness for the organization. In the description, you'll see a link to donate in honor of my efforts. Any amount that you can afford would be greatly appreciated. I'll have more details on this endeavor in future episodes. That being said, I don't just want to ask for things, I want to give you things. So here's this week's question to be registered for the anniversary prize pack. You can get clues at twitter.com/TGTT podcast. Here we go. Some novice Disney fans don't know how to tell the difference between Chip and Dale, but not only do I know the difference between the two, I also have a definitive favorite. Who do I like more, Chip or Dale? Good luck. Answer in the comments to this episode on the YouTube channel, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. This has been episode 54 of Tall Guy Talks Travel with Rick Doherty. I want to thank Sarah from Seattle and my wife Courtney for joining me. Next week, Courtney will be back with a dining review for Beaches and Cream Soda Shop at Disney's Beach Club Resort. Marissa from Chicago will also be on the show to discuss Harry Potter, and more specifically, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal Orlando Resort. In addition to those two topics, I'll be giving the second question for the giveaway of the 1-year anniversary prize pack. That will all be in episode 55 next Thursday. Until then, have a great week.